78. You know, follow each other up to the back, trying to stick together. That's all we got. Mentor just had that conversation with him. He wants to be the pusher. Wants you to lead the way up through there. I need to push at some point, you know, to maintain the pace to get us up in there, pull it down, and then he can push again. Okay, 10-4.
Remember in 07, Kurt Busch pushed his then teammate Ryan Newman to win the 500.
Well, remember here in the 150s, the 78 pushed to 22 across the finish line to win his 150. So, yeah, these guys know how to work together, and they got fast cars.
3 times Busch has been the runner-up in the 500.
And Kurt Busch can become the first driver in the history of this speedway to win the Budweiser Shootout, the Gatorade Duel, and the 500 in the same speed week.
Stephen Wallace has had a great race up till now. He's on pit road with 13 to go.
Looks like it could be right front. I think he's got a right front tire cut down, looks like.
Newman Hamlin. Chevy Toyota. And on the outside, Boyer, Busch, Chevy, Toyota. 2 Fords, the 6 and the 21 for Reagan and Bain. What will be the winning combination 13 laps from now?
And they're wondering the same thing. They don't really know for sure right now. You know what you want to do. You know what you'd like to do, but things can change so quickly. You got to be willing to make a change and go with the best shot.
And on the inside, here comes Stewart and Earnhardt, 2 Chevrolets. The 14 and the 88.
Listen to that engine. That thing is singing at 9,000 RPM around here at 200 plus miles an hour.
Darrell, it looks like what right now, Ryan Newman in the 39, Hamlin in the 11, coming 11 to go. That yellow line, they're not going to move off of it. They're going to stay right at the bottom of this racetrack.
All 3 of our Pizza Hut picks are up there in the top half.
And we've seen it, and I've heard it from everybody that's been leading on the last lap coming to the checker. I felt like a sitting duck. The question is, can you get that duck lined up?
Last Saturday, a week ago Saturday night, Ryan Newman was in that position in the Budweiser Shootout. He was out front. He did not win it. Hamlin went under him, but below the yellow line, Kurt Busch went around the outside and got the win.
I think what's going to affect the outcome of this race is going to be who can stay behind who the longest. Do they have to step out? Like you see Dale Jr. right there. He's trying to get some air to the radiator. You're probably going to burn it down right here. If it starts blowing water out, you're just going to have to let it blow water out. This is for all the marbles right here.
I'd say with 10 to go, just block that water temperature gauge.
Don't even look. Forget the gauges. Run it till it blows.
A record-setting Daytona 500 in a number of categories. And I don't think we've seen the last lead change. 69 so far. 9 times the 500 has been decided by a last lap pass.
And you know, normally a driver would be saying, leave me alone. Don't talk to me anymore. I got to concentrate. You can't do that here today. That spotter's got to stay in your ear.
Clint Boyer to 33, Kyle Busch to 18. They keep trying to look to the outside. They keep testing the waters out there.
Now with 10 laps to go, look at the red car, Stewart. Have he and Earnhardt drifted back, or are the front 4 moving away from them?
Well, I think they're trying to figure out the timing. That's what I was saying about having a head of steam coming to get the checkered flag. If you can time it right, blow by those guys, you got a chance of winning this thing.
Go ahead. 2 back from you, no pressure in front of him. 2 back from you, lane higher. 2 back from you, lane higher. 5 in front of him.
14 and 88 spotters.
I think the element of surprise, you know, that where did they come from? And I think that's what the spotters are really going to have to be watching here and telling their drivers.
Lap car, Jamie McMurray, 7 cylinders for McMurray, continuing to log laps. 8 laps to go.
Plus, one thing we haven't seen, very little blocking. But at the end of this race, to win the Daytona 500, you're probably going to see some blocking. You better believe it.
8 cars packed together once again.
These guys right now are trying to set everything up. They're thinking about where do I want to go and what do I want to do. And
we listen to Denny Hamlin.
It's an 18. Push. Don't pass. Yeah, I'm screaming at them to stay in line.
Hamlin lost touch with Newman there for a bit, and look how quickly the outside column moved when that happened. Boyer and Busch to the front.
And look at Smith in the 78, Kurt Busch in the 22. A lap ago, they had almost lost touch with that top 8. They're on the high side.
That's because they were making the exchange, which put Smith in front of Busch, the 78-22. And now Stewart and Earnhardt have fallen back to 7th and 8th.
I think it's going to really come down to, are these things going to start blowing water out of them? Because they're going to get hot if you don't make the exchange.
Now it's a 10-car jam session, Matt.
Mike Kurt Busch, he back-timed how many laps were left 3 laps ago. He told his spotter, Chris Osborne, we've got to make the exchange now. And then you saw them fade to the back, now working their way back to the front.
Oh, Stewart and Busch made a little contact there. As Stewart and Earnhardt had a head of steam and almost ran out of racetrack.
And that cost him a little bit of ground because he had to jump out of the throttle, Tony Stewart did.
And here comes everybody.
But how about these 2 new players there? Bobby Labonte in the 47, Robbie Gordon in the 7th. They're in the middle of this pack.
There's nothing. This is anybody's race right at this point.
Come on, Labonte!
Now there are 12. 6 pairs of cars, one of whom, 5.5 laps, is going to win the Daytona 500.
Trevor Bayne and David Reagan are hooked up coming around the bottom. I like the bottom.
And Darrell, I don't see how they can do any more swapping. You better stay where you're at till you get to turn 4 coming to the checker.
Catching that group, David Reagan and Trevor Bayne, just like that, the fastest lap of this Daytona 500. 44.66 seconds.
Now the sun's gone down a little bit. It's cooled off a little bit. This is absolutely max speed now. Nobody's holding back now.
And here they come again. Bayne in the 21. Reagan in the 6.
Look at the run. That 11 and that 39. Hamlin and Newman are getting on the high side, and that's where Reagan in the 6 and Bayne in the 21 goes to the high side.
Trevor Bayne has such a good sense about where the guy in front of him is going to go. What a great pusher he is. 3 wide right here at the line. Can they make it?
4 laps to go.
A Boyer, the 18 of Kyle Busch, they're blocked. They can't go anywhere right now because they're 3 wide in front of them.
6 times the driver has scored his first sprint. Oh! Smith gets turned in front of Boyer and Newman and Hamlin.
That's because Smith got a little bit of a gap between he and